episode of TaviRadio FM podcast. I'm your host, Taviface. With me are my two hosts, Yuri and Saber. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
I said say hi, not Gotta do that over again. Come on, start the music right. Hi, welcome to another episode of TaviRadio Podcast FM. My name is Taviface, and with me I have my two hosts, Yuri and Saber. Guys, say hi.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
God fucking damn it! Welcome to another episode of TaviRadio Podcast FM. My name is Taviface, and with me I have my two hosts, Yuri and Saber. Say hi.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Not starting this shit. Anyway, if you guys notice, we are missing a person. Vernius has disappeared, not because I broke his mind, but because someone said
Don't say that.
we broke him last podcast.
Don't know. No.
No, when you think about it that way, then it's wrong. What I mean by that is just that, like, he left on such a confused note. Like, why do you have the dirty mind here? I'm just saying that we broke the poor boy because trying to tell someone the Taviface radio lore is a nightmare to describe anyway. That's why we got Saber here making videos. Like, you try to explain that shit to someone. But anyway, he has disappeared because someone sent Kirby to the Shadow Realm and he's gonna fish him out, you know. It's like that scene in Hercules where Meg goes to like the underworld thing, and Hercules has to like dive down to get her back.
I actually never watched Hercules.
I did.
So you know,
I've watched just about every Disney movie but Hercules and Mulan.
that's like Hercules and Mulan are like my favorite ones. Mulan not so much, but Hercules, that's like my favorite 90s Disney movie. Like, I don't like Lion King.
Everyone loves them, but I just haven't seen them because I didn't have VCRs.
Well, to be fair, DreamWorks is where it's at. I'd rather watch Ants over Bud Life.
Oh, I did like DreamWorks a lot. Road to El Dorado.
Shrek.
El Dorado.
Prince of Egypt.
Oh, Prince of Egypt is so good.
Yeah.
It is so good.
I wish DreamWorks actually stayed with 2D animation on the side, than going straight for 3D after, like, Ants. But, you know. That's what it is.
Yeah, no,
now.
DreamWorks is like with Disney. With Disney, I don't actually mind that they moved to I don't mind that they moved to
I think the last 2D animated Disney movie was a Winnie the Pooh movie, or I think it was Princess and the Frog. One of those two was the last one.
It was Princess and the Frog.
Okay, I think the second to last one was like their cinematic Winnie the Pooh movie, which I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Christopher Robin though.
Yeah, I am.
That looks really good.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is Christopher Robin.
Oh bother! I think out of the characters from Winnie the Pooh, I'd be the Pooh Bear. Yuri would be Eeyore. Saber would be Eeyore. Yuri can be Mr. Rabbit, and then Turmo Torsus Piglet. T-Sradi, he can be Tigger, you know.
I mean, Winnie the Pooh would already constitute as a meal boy.
Yeah, I should do that. I should do that for a meal boy. I dress up in a yellow bear costume, and I go around. I go into my town square or something. I just go around handing people honey, like, hey, you guys want to try this?
Totally not laced or anything.
No, it'd be like that one skit from Eric Andre where, like, Hannibal dressed up like in a really bad Stegosaurus costume. He's like, yo, what up? I'm the safety Stegosaurus. and he goes around like trying to help out kids, and he's eating garbage, and at the end of it, some like lady walks up to him, he's like, "Why are you doing this in front of all these kids?" You know, it's probably one of my favorite bits.
Terumo in public.
I'm the safety status. The safety swine.
Safety swine.
Yeah.
Oink oink, I'm the safety swine.
But enough about Trumo and that goddamn pig. I've had enough of his shit. When are we gonna barbecue him up, okay? That's what I want to know.
Very soon, hopefully.
I mean, that's true. Alright, I want to talk about anime because something got announced.
The Konosuba movie?
Yes, that I'm excited for that, but I'm also excited for
I am
something
too.
else. And Saber knows what I'm talking about. He's pretty gay for it.
JoJo Part 5 getting animated. Woo-hoo. Is that it? Is that what you guys?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
been
okay.
too long.
Okay, you know what? To be fair,
You have to have a very high IQ to understand JoJo.
no, you don't. You don't at all. Have you seen the JoJo fan base as of lately? They're fucking troglodytes. They don't know shit.
Yeah, they
Oh
are.
my god. In fact, you actually need a lower IQ than normal to understand JoJo.
I hate the JoJo fandom.
I don't have anything against it. I only know like
I
two
hate-
people who like JoJo aside from you guys.
I hate it after it just became just meme to shit. Just memes all the time, and every time there's like someone barely mentions it, everyone's just like spamming comments of references to it. It's like, yeah, guys, we get it. You watch JoJo.
Which is
I mean, like, to be fair, that's like a lot of things. Like, it's the exact same thing with Road to El Dorado. It's like...
is that a Road to
if
El
you
Dorado
mention it-
reference?
Like, yeah, no, there are so many, like, references that you can make, and it's like the most basic of ones, and yeah,
I think the only fandom I don't hate yet is the Hero Acro fandom because they don't really do much.
Well,
They're like so passive. It's
They're
like-
they're really passive boys. They're just like, man, Deku and Todoroki, they're cool guys. Bakugo, he's alright. Sonic the Hedgehog in armor, he's cool too. The guy who gets hard, he's pretty hard. You know, that's pretty much what they are. They're like, man, all these boys, they're pretty cool. All these girls, they're pretty cool. This teacher, he's pretty hot. You know, that's pretty much that's what the Hero Actor fandom is.
To be fair, though,
You have to have a higher IQ to
this-
understand Hero Actor.
no. A lot of the, like the straight, white anime watching guys, you know those types?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The ones with, like, the waifu icons or whatever, or like a picture of Naruto or Luffy as their Twitter icon. Those
Yeah.
kind of guys, they always defend the Grape Head. I know he's an asshole, that's all I know.
I liked him because he's funny.
And people, they say like, oh well, I just hate Grape Head. I just like him because feminists hate him.
Here's the thing. You're supposed to
Come on.
hate. You're supposed to hate Mineta. That's character. You're supposed
No,
to
but that's
hate
what
him.
I'm saying though, is that they say that they like them specifically just to spite people who don't like him.
Which is, that's such a bad
Quote unquote feminists.
That's such a bad way to handle liking the character. Here's the thing. I like to hate Mineta because he's such an asshole. And even the characters in the show are just like, Mineta, you gotta stop doing this shit. He's like, but I can't. It's in my nature.
Oh god, what a dumbass.
Yeah, here's the thing. That's how he's written. You're not supposed to like Mineta as a genuine character of like, yeah, he's a really cool guy. You're supposed to be like, this dude's lame. He's wearing a fucking diaper.
And he's also gross.
He's a pervert wearing a diaper. You're telling me this guy isn't messed up?
Mhm.
He throws his sticky balls at you. That's a South Park reference waiting to be happened.
Oh.
I wish my English was better. But on the topic of Mineta-like characters, earlier today you sent me a link to a Twitter thing talking about
Oh
a legendary being.
no.
I
The
actually,
Almighty
Pull that
Bee?
up.
No, not the almighty B, that fucking kangaroo. He's dead.
You can pull that up if you want.
Dr. Bill had enough of him, so...
Okay. Yuri, can I read this out loud? Because this is such a fucking... I want to talk about this.
Yeah, why are you asking me? That's someone else's post.
I'm asking you because I know you, just like me, you fucking hate you hate incels.
Go ahead, do it.
Saber, are you ready for the experience of a lifetime?
Yeah, hit me.
Are you ready for the fedora? Are you ready for intense fedora tipping?
Whoa, what was that sound?
Shut up. Let him do it. Let him do the thing.
Fine.
This was a Facebook post about a man who ate at Wendy's, and here's his story. I often eat alone at Wendy's. That's just down the street from my house. A little less than a week ago, I noticed that they hired a new employee. She's a fair-skinned woman who, for the sake of not violating a pending order of protection, we'll say is named Michelle. I was fond of her from the moment I first saw her. I immediately went home and scoured the internet to find out more information about her. I figured this way I'd be able to learn her interests and engage her in conversation regarding them. I remember initially thinking to myself that it's a shame how name tags don't include their last names. All I had to go on was her first name and location. Yet thanks to Facebook's ability to search by city and state, I was able to find her after just a few hours. Once I did, I realized I hit a gold mine. Her phone number was visible to everybody, not just Facebook friends. Most women are safe to give out their number to a stranger because they don't think they're trustworthy. But if someone asks you out on a date after looking you up and learning your phone number without having to tell them, you'd like to be far more trusting of the person since they already have your personal information. You have nothing to lose. That was my line of thinking anyway. Before I go any further, what are some thoughts going through your head?
Oh, Saber.
Yuri's moaning in a bad way. Groaning.
Who would fucking say that?
Sorry.
Oh my god.
My bad. Yuri's groaning. Saber's silent.
Absolutely disgusting.
Oh, but wait, there's more. After obtaining her phone number, I figured I'd try to do something romantic that would build up to me asking her out. I decided to use an app that would let me text her without revealing my actual number. The app allowed me to change my number at will, essentially making it unblockable, which I thought was a great idea since she might think it was just one of her friends messing with her and block her right away. This would grant me the ability to remain a complete enigma to her. Once a day, I told myself. Only text her once a day so it isn't creepy. Sadly, I was far too excited at the prospect of having my first girlfriend to stick to that. My first text to her was simply, "I saw the picture of your graduation you posted. You're beautiful." Later that day, I was sitting in Wendy's parking lot, and I sent her another text that said, "I can see you right now. One day you'll see me too." Before I knew it, I had texted her over 300 times in just a few days. She never once responded to any of them. Still, not all messages contained text. Some were just pictures of her that I took while she was at work to let her know I was actually watching.
Oh.
Jesus!
I do not understand how this guy thought this was a good idea. I do not understand.
Absolutely incel.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
To show you the power of flex tape, I sawed this girl in half and repaired her with only flex tape.
Speaking of that, before I finished the last of the saga, I walked into my living room. I'm always watching TV. The fucking Spanish version of the flex tape commercial came on, and let's just say, fill in Spanish is a beautiful thing to hear. I was hearing all I heard was, "El flex tape," and I turned around at that second to watch Phil Swift in Spanish saw a boat in half. It was beautiful to hear.
You have been blessed by the elder gods.
Yes, and and to use this blessing, I have to continue this story.
Yikes.
Some of you may have noticed that I wasn't online at all yesterday. There is a good reason for that. Yesterday was the day I met her in person and tried to ask her out. It didn't go as planned. I walked up to Michelle while she was at the counter, told her that I'm her admirer. Her cheerful expression changed as she suddenly started shouting, "This is the guy, Marco! This is the guy!" Marco's her manager. He jumped from behind the counter and grabbed me while instructing her to call the police. I bit his arm hard enough to draw blood, but he did not release me until police arrived. The police said that the detainment was lawful, which meant that I was charged with battery for biting the manager in addition to stalking. This amounts to almost $500 in fines. Thankfully, Father told me he'd take care of it since I'm currently unemployed. The police also told me that she's filing an order of protection, so I cannot return to that specific Wendy's. Father told me to keep my chin up and to remember that some women aren't just worth it. He said that if she thinks that having a guy flatter her and thinking about her all the time is something to tell the police over, then she must be one of those nutty feminists. After spending some time thinking about it, I realized that he's right. Sometimes you have to remind yourself that it's not you, it's them.
Ooh.
Woo, lads. Oof.
The fact that there are people like that actually walking around is the worst.
I literally said this guy should be killed, and Yuri told me that was too merciful.
It's time to exterminate them.
We just gotta get the Infinity Gauntlet, you know? With the snap of my fingers, it could make all the incels just disappear. God.
Yes.
Could you imagine living your life thinking like that?
No, I can't actually.
Like,
I
may call Saber a cuck, but this is a literal cuck. Like, Jesus!
I wonder if you calling me that really just actually makes people think that I am actually a real cuckold.
Disclaimer, Saber isn't a cuckold. He just cuckolds people. Their wallets, that is.
Yeah, it's only their wallets.
You know, one day you wake up with $200. Next thing you wake up, you got 3 copies of Skyrim on Xbox 360 sitting next to you in your bed. Let's see, you know you have a Todd Howard body pillow. I swear, if someone makes a Todd Howard body pillow, I'm buying that for you, Saber. I'm gonna send that to you.
think I would actually buy it too.
Hey guys, check out.
I don't even like Skyrim.
My plan is working all along.
Yeah, you're thinking to buy a Todd Howard body pillow.
That's the first step.
That's Yuri's buying 3 copies of Skyrim on Switch.
Hey, I've never played Skyrim before.
Oof.
I wonder what kind of character Yuri would be in Skyrim.
A gay vampire? That's an elf?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
did you say a gay vampire? Like, off the bat?
You can be gay in Skyrim. You can marry same gender and have a relationship with them. And you can become a vampire,
Sweet.
and you have the choice to be a dark elf, a wood elf, or a high elf.
Yeah.
So literally,
Cool.
you can make the optimal Yuri if you wanted to.
Well, that sounds cool. Too bad, like, everything in Skyrim is butt ugly.
That's why you get mods.
And to be
Yeah,
fair,
but then it, like, Skyrim, like, updates or your computer updates and then the mods are broken.
Well, it hasn't been updating for a while now, because the only updates it gets now are just for the dumb creation club thing, which is just basically a dumb idea by Bethesda for having special mods that you actually pay microtransactions for, but those are completely left alone if you just get mods, because like the standard edition especially if you get like the Legendary Edition, where it just has all the content. Like there's millions of mods for it, and then the Special Edition has less so because it just came out and it's got different scripting and stuff. But people are converting mods for that version.
So, in your opinion,
That's really
as a
fun.
common Skyrim player, would you just recommend getting like Legendary Edition instead of Special?
Well, like say if you just want to play it on like your current gen consoles, I'd say go for it. Maybe not on the PS4 because Sony's like, man, you're gonna be limited on your mods. No third-party assets or anything like that.
Right now, Sony's eating ass because like the Switch and Microsoft can now crossplay with Minecraft and Fortnite, and
Yeah.
which is such a cool thing. I can't. Here's the thing: when I saw this on Twitter, I had to like take a double take for a minute because I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't ready for Microsoft and Nintendo to start tweeting at each other saying like, "Hey, you guys want to play some Fortnite?"
Yeah, I can't like Nintendo of all things, right?
This is the thing, like, Nintendo themselves have been pretty alienated. They've alienated themselves from, like, both Microsoft and Sony for the past 2 generations with GameCube and Wii and Wii U stuff. So to now see that, like, they're both cross-playing is such an amazing thing for me to see because, here's the thing. It's always been Microsoft that's been wanting to cross-play. They cross-play to PC and whatnot, and they've been trying to convince Sony
And
to do
they've
it
done it
too.
with Sony like once or twice.
I think. Okay. I'm trying to think with Sony I know they've done it once with Sony, but I can't remember what game it was. Because I think they wanted to do it with Battlefield. And I know the Fighter Z servers one time screwed up. Because all of a sudden, PS4 players and Xbox One players are playing each other in Fighter Z.
Oh wow.
I know Sony does want to do crossplay, but only with PC because Street Fighter does crossplay with the PC counterpart, but PC players hate playing with PS4 players because frame rate stuff and whatnot, and it's just a big technical mess.
My friendship with Microsoft is over. Steam is now my new best friend.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, like, I wish Sony would stop alienating themselves now, because, like, Nintendo has now decided, like, yeah, let's play some Fortnite together, you know? And that's, in reality, can you believe that the thing to unite everybody would be Fortnite and Minecraft? In what universe do we live in where Fortnite and Minecraft are the things that unite people?
Who knows?
Not the universe where Peter Gigantus still has the secret of suck.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, ask Peter.
Thanks.
You think Saber knows what the secret of suck is? Do you think I know what the secret of suck is?
I don't
I'm
even think you guys know what the fuck you're talking about anymore.
I'm still decoding it. Get off my ass.
Exactly. See, Saber knows of the secret of suck, and at one point he did have the tragedy of Thick, but it was lost in the timelines, like the Boar vessel.
So many people seek that poor vessel.
But at the same time, Turmo himself has debunked it, saying that the Boar vessel is an incomplete vessel of his. It's not even that strong.
Interesting.
But you know, beggars can't be pigs.
Law doesn't apply to pigs.
Yeah. But on to other anime news. Konosuba the movie built, boys. That's a thing.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I love Konosuba so much. It's so funny.
I think all those characters are pretty cool. You know, Megumin's gonna put me in jail. Dankness is pretty cool. Aqua's a big little. Is that her name,
I've
Dankness?
never heard that one before, so I give you that.
Isn't her name Dankness?
It's Darkness.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, well.
Wait, did you actually think her name was Dankness?
No, that's a joke.
Oh my god, don't scare me like that.
No,
No.
the rest of them need a name like Dankness.
Oh, we can call Aqua the bad pronunciation of Aqua. Aquars.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Of course. People still don't know how to phonetically say aqua, and I mean the.
I mean, I can't blame them.
I mean, I know this good joke about it, and this is the only reason I remember how to say it correctly. Is that you guys want to know why the the URS is silent in aqua? Because you never get URs.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one.
No, that's a pretty good way to remember how it is. But we can call. God, we need a good one from Megumin. Megan.
She's just named Megan now.
Megan, Dakeness, Awkwars, and and Kazumer.
Kazoomer.
Yeah.
What about Kazoo?
Kazoo, and the great Kazoo.
I'm glad you like that.
There you go. That's the American version of Konosuba. Don't forget to watch the English dub on Disney. You got great characters like Dakeness, Megan, Kazumer, Awkwars, the Wizard. Wiz is actually my favorite character. I love her.
I liked Wiz. I thought she was pretty cute. I don't know, but I liked Aqua and Megumin a lot.
Megumin, if I say I liked her, I might be put in jail. Awkward. I was about to say Awkwards. Aqua, she's cool,
Mark has a Megumin figure. It's the only figure he actually owns.
That's sad.
He likes Megumin a lot. He was trying to decide between Kurisu from Steins Gate and Megumin, and he ended up deciding on Megumin.
Now that's a good waifu we're talking. Speaking of figures, I need to expand to a second level of my figure collection because my Gundam now no longer fit on my figure stand.
Yeah, my shelf is like full. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably not gonna get any more because I don't know where to put them, and when I move out, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Although in other news, I did order. I was talking to Yuri about this, but I was on Walmart.com and I stumbled upon Hanamaru, my bad.
Hanamaru.
There we go, my bad. Hanamura's Yosuke, my bad. Hanamaru Nesoberry on Walmart.com in the US, and it was $40, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking order this shit.
So did it come in?
It's on its way. I couldn't do the 2-day free shipping, and the express shipping was like $20, but it's coming.
Oh my god, Pixar, it didn't happen.
Oh, Pits, and it will happen. Don't worry. I'll do a video on it. The Walmart Hanamaru.
Unboxing.
There we go. I gotta bring back my famous series, Parcel Popping.
Wait, what?
I have this side series I never update on my channel called Parcel Popping because anytime I get a box, I never have the time to film it because everybody in my house is so loud. So I don't ever have the time to film it because I wanted to do a one on my hit figure, but I couldn't do it. And then I have these.
No. You can record it, but I'll do the audio for you.
You're gonna dub me over?
No. You can redub yourself. I'll just do the rest of the sound effects.
Is this your excuse to put in Ed and Eddie sound effects into a video?
No, I already did that with the ramen video.
The ramen 3-way. To which someone said I looked depressed in that video.
But I mean,
that's the whole point.
it's not going to be the last time I'm going to use sound effects because it wasn't the focus of the video.
No. And I can't believe you didn't even take the time to focus on the one guy in the background at the end who was trying to look for his dog and looked really confused.
Also, what happened to the Sad AM MatPat video?
What do you mean?
There's I thought there was an episode missing.
There shouldn't be.
Let me recheck.
I don't think...
because I was looking through kind of the episodes just to kind of see, and I thought,
No, Saturday AM
some-
should have all of its episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The special edition. Holy shit, there is one missing. Hold on, because there's the first episode, second, third, fourth, fifth. Fourth, we talked about animation channels. Fifth, we talked about a bunch of updates. Sixth, we talked about Ethan from H3. Seven, we talked about horror stories. Special edition is... I think the special edition episode was where Lightning Jones talked about leaving YouTube.
Yeah.
Episode 10 was talking about Dragon Ball. So we're missing 8 and 9. Episode 11 is talking about more cosplay stuff in Paddington 2. Episode 12 is talking about my a friend from high school that he was a cuck. Episode 13 is the cursed episode, the longest episode. 14 is where we talked about Hollywood Video and Sylvester Stallone. 15 is where we talked about Dojins. 16 was the only episode to have a guest on it. 17 was talking about Tavoland. 18 is talking about Nickelback. 19 and 20 were talking about the toys, and the recent one was talking about how my war on Molly's. So we are missing episode 8 and 9. Although I think 9 counts as special edition, but episode 8 is missing, and let me check all videos. So this is actually recent news for me, so breaking news, these videos are gone. Oh no, they're still here, I just don't have them in the... Oh! I just didn't... My dumb ass didn't put them in the... My dumb ass didn't put it in the playlist.
God damn it.
Because 9 was the year in review. And 8 was the image of me looking in the mirror and then seeing Chad Kroger from Nickelback.
Wow, ain't this behind the scenes TaviRadio?
TaviRadio.
Whatever.
It's phonetically said TaviRadio, not TaviRadio. Tavo.
Are you making fun of my Canadian accent?
TaviRadio. That's it.
Tune in next time when Taviface rides a bull.
No. That's it. Last night, on the second location of Tavoland, we had Turo and his pits come in and do a journey night for all the dads, you know. It was a dad night. Next weekend, we're going to come in and we're going to have the first annual Tavo Rodeo.
Sure.
Who wants to be the rodeo clown?
Not me.
I was at one yesterday and it was pretty good. Pretty entertaining.
Damn, let's talk about this. Saber at the rodeo.
Yeah. So from what I saw, at least 3 people did get injured. But
Did they die?
No, they were able to get back up.
Let's get back up.
Yeah. Yeah, they had, because the rodeo was like sponsored by a whole bunch of people, especially like the hospital and all that. So they had people come in to help the guy get back up.
Interesting.
There's my one favorite guy though is when he was riding the bull. The bull threw him off, but when he flew off, he landed right on his feet, and as he landed, the bull kicked up, and his foot was inches away from his head.
When you wake up from a fighting game, you get Oki Z-Mate. And you get Oki.
Okie dokie.
Like if anything, that bull would have DP'd him.
That's what that bull did. The bull got him. The bull did a command grab. He woke up, and he was ready to and the bull got him on wake up. He didn't. He Oki'd him. He Oki'd Z-Made him. Or as Yuri calls it now, he Okie Doki'd him. He Okie Dokie Literature Clubbed him. You know?
Probably gonna have to pause the... Hold on. Come in!
Okay, she's under attack, so now it's just us for the moment.
Here's to you, Nicola and Bart. Here's forever here in your hearts. Now...
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Oh, you didn't miss much.
Okay.
So yeah, Saber at the rodeo. Tune in for that special. Tune in. Go to Tavoland this weekend, guys. We're gonna have a big rodeo set up out back. There'll be some barbecue out there. Turmo will be in pig makeup. You'll get him to ride a bull. You ever seen a pig on a bull? Well, you're gonna see it now.
I want to see a werewolf on a bull.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get Lycan Joe to show up. He's a little busy lately, but maybe we'll get him to show up and ride the bull for a bit. Saber, you gotta fight the bull.
He'll ride the bull, and then as the bull throws him off, he just grabs it and starts to eat it.
What?
Listen up. He may be a werewolf. All right. He may be a wolfman.
He's not that hungry.
But he's not that hungry, okay? Because you're talking about a guy who Trumo demanded that Lycan eat him, and Lycan said no. This saga of Trumo trying to get someone to eat him. Is there some sort of subplot that I'm missing here? Like, if we eat Trumo, will his spirit possess us or something?
What is this? Jason Goes to Hell?
What the fuck happened in Jason Goes to Hell? What the hell happened?
It's basically what you said. Jason gets fucking killed by the military, gets his body blown up, and as these doctors are doing an autopsy, this one doctor stares at his heart, and he just starts to eat it, and then Jason's soul possesses him. And all throughout the movie, it's basically Jason possessing different people throughout the movie until he can find someone that's blood related to him, so that he can. It was really bad because it was directed by a guy that literally it's his first movie directing. So.
Wow, that sounds
like
bad,
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically when New Line Cinema got Friday the 13th from Paramount. So.
Oh no, that sounds whack.
It's basically around the downward spiral of Friday the 13th movies.
See,
yeah, that sounds about right.
on this tangent, I want to talk about the fact that for some reason, every bad story involves some sort of weird cannibalism. For example, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but are you guys aware of the Marvel comic Ultimatum?
No.
Oh wow, that Saber would actually know this. Alright, so Ultimatum was supposed to be the end of the Ultimate line for Marvel, but that didn't really happen because Ultimatum was really bad and just kind of killed off a bunch of characters, so it was retconned. So there's a scene in Ultimatum because for some reason the plot of it is, it happens at the end of the last story arc of Ultimate Avengers where Quicksilver supposedly dies and Magneto gets Thor's hammer. So Magneto, using his own magnetism, throws the Earth off axis and causes a bunch of tsunamis, and a lot of Marvel characters die horrible deaths. For example, the Blob eats the Wasp. He straight up grabs her and eats her innards, and then the Ant-Man picks up the Blob and bites his head off and spits it out. And then Sabretooth eats the Marvel character Angel. Wolverine is vaporized by Magneto by getting his fucking adamantium ripped from his skeleton. And then Cyclops blasts Magneto's head off, and then Cyclops gets shot in the head by Quicksilver at the epilogue.
Marvel Battle Royale.
Where were we going with this?
Oh, it's just that really because we're talking about how Jason Goes to Hell had that weird cannibalism scene.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about how bad Ultimatum was because it also had weird cannibalistic deaths.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. Bad stories have cannibalism. Look at Cannibal Holocaust. That's a really shitty movie.
I think it's one of those movies that have been super banned in some places.
It is. In reality, Cannibal Holocaust is just really just a whack movie. I will say on an interesting note about that movie, it did have an animal death in it. No real death happened in the movie, but it did have the death of a poor innocent turtle that was eaten.
Aww. Didn't deserve it.
Yeah, but that movie still is pretty infamous because the actor signed a contract where when the movie was but for promoting the movie, the actors were not allowed to be seen in the public eye. To which people believed like, holy shit, this really happened. Because you see the actors die in the movie, and then to make sure the director didn't get in trouble anymore, the actors had to come out of hiding and say like, "Yo, guys, we're still alive. It was just a publicity stunt."
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Italian cinema's weird, man.
Sounds
Italians are weird.
Yeah.
What was that movie that was made in like the 80s or something where they were shooting this scene with like a helicopter or something, and this guy is holding this little girl or these two little girls, and they all get their heads cut off?
I think that was a scene. I know it had something to do with Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't that a Twilight Zone thing?
Hold on, let me Twilight Zone. Death. Accident. I'd say I think it was a Twilight Zone thing that's where it happened.
I mean, that's what I vaguely remembered it as.
Oh yeah, on July 23, 1982, the Ortoi's helicopter crashed in the Indian dunes of Valencia, California, during the making of Twilight Zone the movie. The crash killed 3 people on the ground, actor Vic Morrow and 2 child actors, as well as injured 6 helicopter things, and including the director John Landis. Directly responsible. Yeah, so there was a helicopter crash during the making of Twilight Zone the movie, where even director John Landis was involved, and it killed the actor Vic Morrow and 2 child actors, Mika Din Lee and Renee Shin-Yi Chen. So, yeah, that's kind of a sad thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, sorry for bringing the mood down.
That's fine. That's where we ended up in. Yeah, brighten up the mood a bit. So, I've mentioned Part 5 JoJo because, and the My Hero fandom, because for some reason when Part 5 got announced, every JoJo fan just started shitting on My Hero. So.
Oh, I found this like one thing going on between a JoJo fan and a Ruby fan, and the JoJo fan, I don't know why he said this, but he's just like, well, at least the creator of JoJo was still alive.
That's fucked up.
That is, yeah, it's just...
That's uncalled for.
No, it's super uncalled for. Because here's the thing. Because you don't bring that up.
I didn't even like Ruby. I still don't like Ruby, but like I had a lot of respect, and I actually I remember feeling kind of sad when I heard about Monty's death.
At the time of Monty's passing, I wasn't watching Ruby at all. I mean, now I am. Like, now Saber can tell you that now I'm into Ruby because fucking Blaze Blue. But at the time, I'm like, I didn't like Ruby, but at the same time, like, I still had a lot of respect for Monty because I did like Red vs. Blue and his work into it. And the fact that this man he's such a madman and he's a perfectionist and whatnot.
Yeah, he's, like, he had this routine of just, like, of literally, like, just taking, like, power naps at work, and when he'd get back up, he'd just go and continue what he was doing.
Wow.
He just, he would work himself, but he would still, take some time to just, pause for a bit. It's like, all right, let me rest, and then, all right, let's do this.
I mean, at the same time, I hated how Rooster Teeth handled his death a little bit because low-key, I think during the time of his death on the podcast, people like Bernie were like kind of hinting that his death was the fault of his wife, and just honestly were kind of like pinning a lot of it on her, and I think that's really messed up. So
that sounds messed up.
Yeah, it's like how when Total Biscuit passed away, people just started shitting on Total Biscuit and his wife because Total Biscuit, according to behind the scenes stuff, Total Biscuit was like getting pretty like, I don't know, there was never like physical violence, but there was a lot of like yelling and arguments between the two because of like, stress that the man, that they knew he was gonna pass like pretty much any day now, and Total Biscuit was stressing out about like about the future of like his channel and stuff and whatnot. I mean, I mean, it's just a human thing, as I talked about it on Saturday AM like a while ago. But it's still messed
Yeah.
up when people are just like, even when a person,
Yeah.
it's still messed up when people talk about the dead person like that, or like their family member and whatnot.
Like what's the rapper's name? He passed away.
XXX Extinct.
Oh, here's the again. I would never say anything bad about Tentacion, because I don't like his music and I don't like him as a person at all. But at the same time, like, his death is still pretty sad, especially how he went.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit that he was trying to reform himself as to be a positive image, but everything before that, he was still kind of an asshole.
I mean, but even then, it's like the last time anything had been reported was just last December. It's been like 6 months, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, like, I'm not gonna talk shit about the guy. You know, he's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's a difference between like respecting the dead, where it's like don't show photos of the corpse, don't vandalize the corpse, you know.
Yeah.
And don't harass the family. Like, that's respecting the dead. He still did shitty things, you know.
Yeah,
you can't just not say he didn't do shitty things.
Oh yeah. I still acknowledge the fact that he was still a really, I mean, he's a fucking asshole and whatnot. But at the same time, like, I'm gonna be like, whatever. People were harassing his ex-girlfriend that he used to beat and asking her like, yo, like, are you at peace now that he's dead? And she's like, not really. Like, he didn't deserve to go out the way he did. Like, even like his ex-girlfriend that he beat, said that, like, he was still pretty sad about his death, if anything.
Okay, but to be fair though, like,
yeah, he was an
chances
asshole,
are she probably had a bit of Stockholm syndrome going on.
Yeah, but at the same time, like,
because even after he beat her, he almost raped her with a barbecue fork, and he made her blind in one eye. She was still sad. Like, that's not right.
I don't know. Either way, he was an asshole, but, you know.
It's just
rest
like,
in peace.
I would just say, like, you know, give some respect where it's due, but still acknowledge the fact that they were, you know, whoever is completely, you know, flawed. Say if, actually, no, I'm not going to say that. That's actually really personal. But yeah, just say there's someone and they're just way in their early life was just a horrible person, or they didn't, you know, they did nothing to really earn that respect, but then they say they grow older and, you know, they kind of lose touch from, you know, who they were before, and just kind of not really change, but just not really do that stuff anymore. It's, you know, just kind of different. It's just, I'll go into detail about this after we're done recording.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but anyway, yeah, sucks that he died. Rest in peace. Let's sign up the mood a bit. And go back to what I was talking about. For some reason, fucking JoJo fans have been shitting on My Hero since Part 5 got announced. They're like, oh, this is gonna kill My Hero Academia. I'm like, at the same time, I'm seeing these people, I'm like, you were the same guys crying about All Might when he did United States of Smash on All for One. What the hell are you guys going on about? JoJo has only made me cry a couple times, and even then, that was in later arcs. I don't think I shed a tear during the entirety of Part 4 except for Shigechi's death. Even then, some people were just like, "See a fatso."
His death wasn't because of Yoshikage Kira. It was because of those girls that encountered him in the hallway, and they're like, "Should we help him?" Nah.
But Saber, you say that now, but that's incel fuel. Don't you dare say his death was because of those girls. You say his death was because of Yoshikage Kira, because if you say that, Saber, I'm gonna have to suspect you to be an incel. Here's the thing, yeah, those girls didn't help him, but those girls didn't blow the guy up. In reality, it was the sandwich fault.
It's the sandwich's fault.
Yeah, the sandwich killed him. You know?
I'm never ordering from this place again.
3 out of 10. This sandwich killed my friend. I'm out of here. Although, there's always going to be that one moment in JoJo where you do shed a tear. Part 1, Zeppelin's death. Part 2, other Zeppelin's death. Part 3, Ketcoin, Avdol, 80's death.
Catcoin?
Ketcoin, my bad.
Cock-yoink.
Ketcoin. Yeah, that's Turumos. Turumos are Ketcoin. Alright, Turumos are Ketcoin. Yuri can be Polnareff. I'll be Jotaro. T-Sword can be Old Joseph. Saber can be Avdol. Turumo, he's Ketcoin now.
Yes, I am.
A cook.
I want to be Giorno. I know that's not a part of... not Giorno, oh no.
No, if in part 4, I'd have to give up my Rohan Kishibe role to you, because that's more fitting.
Because, yeah, you're actually the artist.
Yeah, you're the art guy.
True. I was gonna say I'd want to be, Gyro. I totally forgot his name for a minute.
You want to die a really sad death from the President of the United States?
Sure.
Trying to think, who'd be your Johnny? Saber, I feel like you'd be pretty fitting to be Funny Valentine.
I'll be Funny Valentine pre-corpse. Where he was all fat, just...
He's a fat fuck. Tsurugi should be Ringo Road again, because that's a real man.
That's a man.
Welcome to the
man.
man's
Welcome.
world.
Yeah.
Turumo can be both versions of Dio, except when he's Dio using staring monsters. He turns into a pig.
He turns into a pig, and people get infected and become pigs.
No, they become boars.
Is the boar vessel really just the corpse parts?
Instead of I'll be Johnny. Instead of me trying to find the corpse parts, instead I'm trying to find pieces of the boar vessel that you're trying to obtain. I forget what Funny Valentine's motivation even was. Again, Funny Valentine is one of those cool villains where he wasn't exactly a bad guy per se.
He just wasn't really the good guy. He
wasn't the good guy, but he wasn't exactly evil in all the way though. Everything he did was what he believed was good for the country. Or
Yeah.
Dio's an asshole, and so is Cars and like the other Pillar Men except for Wamu.
Wamu's a good boy.
Wamu's a good boy who just wanted to fight honorable people, and he believed Joseph was the ultimate warrior or something like that. I don't know. And then
I'm picturing Joseph dressed up as the ultimate warrior.
exactly. And in that image, I thought about Wamu dressed up like Macho Man. Cars is Hulk Hogan.
Who's AC/DC?
Ric Flair. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair. The Pillar Boy, Ric Flair.
Pillar
Woo!
boy.
And then again in part 3, we go back to Dio, who's literally just a fucking asshole.
He just wants to just rule. He just wants to be evil. He wants to be the ultimate evil.
Yeah. And then in part 4, here's where we get the interesting villains, because Kira is evil, but at the same time, he just wants to do things his way. That involves killing women because they have cool hands. That's just the type of life he wants to lead. He just doesn't want anybody to bother him.
He was on Thought Patrol, actually.
Yeah. Kira was on the Thought Patrol. He was the ultimate incel.
That's the real plot of Duang.
Trying to find an incel. Part 5, Diavolo is again an interesting villain.
Because he's actually like clinically insane.
Yeah, like
And-
Diavolo has schizophrenia.
Dual personality syndrome.
Just insane in general.
Yeah, and like it's bad to the point where his body will physically change.
Again, Doppio.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
It's just
I totally just knocked my mic.
And then
no, your mic got King Crimson.
it's like when I King Crimson that fucking Starbucks thing. Which I don't remember why I had that in the first place.
And then
Then we have Father Pucci, or Enrico Pucci, who,
mhm.
again, was just following the will of Dio, and he wanted to make the world in Dio's image. I guess you can say that Pucci in himself was, again, another fairly straightforward evil character.
But he did it with like thinking that
Dio's way was the right way.
yeah.
So in reality,
was kind of-
Pucci was misguided in his beliefs and gay.
Well,
But that's beside the point.
Well, I mean, yeah. He's gay for Dio, but then he's just like, I love you as much as I love God.
Yeah. But that still
So
can be
it's like-
interpreted as him being gay. I mean,
Yeah.
Dio himself is
Dio's-
bisexual.
Yeah, he's bi. He's pretty gay. I mean, he's pretty much the male version of Yuri.
A
A gay vampire! But whose body did she steal?
Whose body is she stealing?
But then part
Take
7...
a guess.
Oof. And then part 7, we got Funny Valentine. And part 8, we don't really have much of a straightforward villain yet.
It's just kind of... I don't really know how to
Part
explain
8's...
part 8.
JoJolion is a pretty weird story to describe because... Here's the thing. I'm really bad at catching up with JoJolion because at some point I was, and last time I was caught up was when Joestar was fighting a bunch of rock people, which was weird. Again, it's like how most parts in JoJo, especially like part 4, we didn't have like a main villain per se. We just had story arcs for villains. For example, the first arc of part 4, you'd say was like was Akira.
Angelo, like it was first Angelo the first few episodes.
And then Akira for the rest of them.
Yeah, and then
Then like in the middle of part 4, we introduced to Yoshikage Kira, and then we got Kosaku Kira.
yeah.
I don't know. That's it.
And because we kind of just get like we get a villain, and then at the same time his dad is just like, I need to stop these kids from trying to beat up my incel son, so I'm just gonna make a bunch of other bad guys to try to stop them.
Who is the most tragic character in all of JoJo, in your opinion?
That's not an easy question to say. I mean, not to answer.
I mean, in my opinion, I would say Polnareff.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Polnareff is pretty tragic.
His best friend died. Someone he thought that didn't like him sacrificed himself for him, and then at the end of it, he got cut into the body of a turtle.
Yeah.
And then Polnareff cannot die because his lifespan, being that of a turtle, has extended his life. So now he must live his life as a turtle. Oh, and then before that, he got his legs broken by Diavolo.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, at the same time, you could say like someone like the Zeppelis are pretty tragic in themselves as well.
Because they're basically written to be, at least with William, he was written to be just the mentor figure that does sacrifice himself. You know, like Ben Kenobi to Luke Skywalker, or any other mentor figure to our main hero.
And that's more apparent with Gyro because like how Obi-Wan was like the secondary protagonist of the prequel series, Gyro was pretty much the main protagonist. If you would have to ask me who the main character of Steel Ball Run was, I would say Gyro over Johnny.
Yeah, and plus a lot of like official art, when it's focused on like the protagonists, Gyro will be in there, even if there's like none of the other Zeppelis.
Yeah, because again, like Gyro is like Gyro and Johnny are like dual dual protagonists.
Like another thing too with them two is that like the dynamic between Gyro and Johnny will switch between being William and Jonathan
to being Caesar and
Joseph.
Yeah.
Like they'll go from being like a mentor student to, best friends, and that's kind of, I think that's part of what Araki wrote Caesar for, is he wanted another Zeppeli, but wanted him to be more of like a friend or rival to the new JoJo instead of a mentor.
Which is a good idea, because here's the thing: he took everything that made fucking William and Caesar, and he decided let me paint everything that made those two characters perfect and put them to one character and actually do it well.
Yeah. Because Araki had, and I wouldn't really blame Araki, because it's kind of a thing with different series that has a lot of characters, is there's a lot of times where certain villains or even side characters are too underdeveloped because there's not enough time for them to get. Go ahead.
Because here's the thing: Gyro's the perfect example of taking two characters that are beloved by the fan base and making them pretty much perfect into one character. While you have Gyro on the good spectrum of that, you have a character like Boruto on the bad spectrum, where let's make him appear to be Naruto-esque, but let's make him overpowered in the worst ways and give him Sasuke's really shitty personality that he had. Because here's the thing: because Naruto himself is a pretty overpowered character without knowing it, but Boruto is fully aware of that. But Boruto has the worst aspects that makes him overpowered, and it just doesn't work out. Because you want
had it not been for the laws of the land, I would have slaughtered you.
Exactly. But anyway, I don't want to talk about Naruto. I like talking about JoJo.
Yeah. Well, and with characters, I also wanted an excuse to ramble about other stuff. Like another kind of aspect with characters, let's take some of the Star Wars trilogies, is that in the original trilogy we have Luke, Han, and Leia. We have the main hero, excellent starfighter pilot, all that. He's a Jedi too, and then we have the scoundrel who's piloting the Millennium Falcon and good with the blaster and pretty witty, and then we have the female hero, Leia doesn't take shit from anybody, and we have that, this sort of dynamic, and then we kind of get shifted around kind of things with the new trilogy.
Because we have Rey, who's essentially taking some. Rey's like a fusion, Rey is like is kind of like Boruto in a way. Because let's take the two popular male characters, and then let's make her a fusion of them, but let's make her overpowered and like them in the worst way possible.
Yeah,
because now she is the scoundrel Jedi piloting the Millennium Falcon, but she's also as strong as she might be on par with how Luke was as strong, because Luke was a Skywalker in general.
Yeah, because they wanted to go with her being a Skywalker, so she's going to be powerful, but they just dropped that in The Last Jedi, and then to go along that we have Finn and Poe. We have Finn who's just
Poe is another scoundrel.
Yeah, and he's but this time he's the starfighter pilot, but that's about it. It didn't even take the first movie to actually introduce him to Rey. We just got Finn and Rey running around.
Again, I think this is really bad writing on both these parts. I don't care what anybody says. Poe and Rey never actually fucking met or introduced themselves to each other. Finn was the bridge between them, essentially. Poe met Finn, and Finn met Rey. And at the end of Force Awakens, all of them group up, but never do we have an introduction of Rey and Poe at all. These two never interact with each other at all in that movie, but they both interact with the same character, because for a fact, with how the trailers were portraying, that Finn was supposed to be the main character of this new trilogy.
Yeah, they were. I was watching the movie expecting him to be the Jedi. It's like, oh, cool. He was a stormtrooper, but now he's a Jedi, and then.
This was so apparent in the trailers to the point where my friend that I talked about on Saturday AM, but he's a really shitty guy. because he's a bit racist. So constantly throughout seeing Force Awakens, he kept calling Finn, because he's really bad with names, he kept calling Finn Black Skywalker. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, I guess he really wasn't Black Skywalker. He just really seemed really disappointed.
I mean, yeah, because they built up this thing with the stormtroopers in the First Order, is that instead of being a bunch of volunteers, they actually went to planets that weren't even, touched by the Republic or anyone that had never seen technology, and they're like, hey, you people want a chance at a better life instead of being like this, give us your children and we'll
give us your kids.
And they take the children and they basically go through brainwashing all of them so that they're extremely loyal to them, because they didn't want to go through volunteers and they didn't want to go through cloning soldiers, so they just went with child soldiers. And they had this thing where everyone is just brainwashed to being loyal to the First Order, and we have Finn who somehow breaks away from that, and it's like it could be implying that he's like, say, Force sensitive and he was able to fight it off.
I mean, Finn is Force sensitive, isn't he?
I don't know. I really didn't want to bother much with The Last Jedi, and I don't really think they really said anything.
No, they didn't. Again, what Force Awakens did wrong, Last Jedi also did wrong. Despite the fact that I love Rian Johnson's pretty much like shitty on J.J. Abrams, says I love when people do things out of spite, and the fact that he just did everything. Despite that he did everything out of spite to fuck up what J.J. Laid out for him, was hilarious to me. Because instead of making Luke this wise old sage, he made Luke pretty much a cuck.
Yeah, he was basically a cuck. He's just like, oh,
the sacred text!
Oh, my father's lightsaber that I lost when I was fighting him all those years ago. Oh,
hey, that's
cool. He just tosses it aside, and it's just like I mean...
You have this happen at the beginning, but then at the same time, at the end, you have Luke worrying about the sacred text and Force Ghost Yoda laughing at him.
Yeah, and the thing, too, is that when The Last Jedi came out, a lot of people were expecting Luke from the books, but a problem I do have with the original canon, the extended universe, it's not Legends, is that after Return of the Jedi, Luke eventually just becomes overpowered, like very overpowered, and to the point where it's just like, I am basically a Force god, and it's one that and a few other things, like Sidious actually coming back through a clone body and his soul transferring into it, is kind of one of the bad things about the original canon.
Also, isn't Sidious himself like not even that strong in general? If you had to nerf Anakin,
well, he is.
He purposely put faulty designs in Vader's body because he knew Anakin at some point would just fucking murder him.
Yeah, that's why Vader had all those clunky cybernetics, which is a weird thing to think about. From the Force Unleashed game, if you went with the bad ending, Starkiller, the Secret Apprentice, becomes Sidious's apprentice, and he rebuilds his body with cybernetics, but these cybernetics allow him to still use Force Lightning.
Oh yeah, because Vader can't use Force Lightning, can he?
No,
and that's for the reason of like Darth Sidious pretty much Sidious doing this to him.
Yeah, because even if he would, I mean, he could have been able to learn it as Anakin, and just use it from his left hand, but after Mustafar and getting the cybernetics, it's just like, yeah, man, you can't do this. You can't do the cool stuff I do.
All right. Well, this podcast went from TaviRadio to Sad Boy Podcast to JoJo Cast and to Star Wars Extended Deep Universe Cast. So this is where I'm going to draw the line, Saber.
Yuri.
Yeah.
You guys clearly I hope.
No. In the back of my head, I'm thinking like, man, Yuri's enduring all this. I feel sorry for you. I would have.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doing like this. I have so much of these thoughts going in my head, and I never
tuned you guys out
about it.
Saber,
I tuned you guys out around JoJo, and I just been playing a rhythm game.
Saber, why don't you just make a Star Wars lore channel?
I mean, there's a lot already out there. If anything, I'd just try to have like discussion stuff.
Exactly. Saber, why don't you just do that with your channel? You know so much about Star Wars. Why don't you just turn yourself into a discussion channel? What's stopping you?
I don't know. At this point, right now, I'm pretty much free. I mean, I'm at a point right now because my brothers are down the south in the state with my grandparents, and
they're down in the Pitlands.
And there's not much stuff going around now, so I could be able to do some streaming.
Oh, so they're down in the swine swamps.
No, they're down in the swine desert.
Ew, in Texas.
Not in Texas, but like.
Oh, in Missouri.
They're down in south of Colorado, and
Ew.
basically near not I wouldn't really say the more Hispanic side of Colorado, because there's just chunks of Colorado that's very Hispanic, but
I mean, Colorado itself was a part of Mexican territory.
Yeah.
But everybody loves that. The fuck was that thing called? What was that stupid ass treaty called? The Purchase of Guadalajara, or whatever it was called.
Guatemala?
What the fuck was it called? History Cast.
The Frito Bandito.
Yeah, the Purchase of the Frito Bandito purchase.
I'm for a few weeks. I think I'll be able to actually do some consistent live streaming.
Okay, okay. God fucking damn it! I can't believe I have to look this up. All right, so there was different purchases, but the purchase specifically for California was the Gadsden purchase, or the treaty, where the U.S. Oh yeah, there we go. James Polk, he's a good guy, I guess.
James K. Polk, he was no joke.
James K. Polk, he was no joke. That's an American joke. Yuri probably wouldn't get it.
Nope.
Because she's Canadian. It's okay.
Yep.
No Canadians. You see that picture of the penguin where it says no anime? Just have it say no Canadians.
Is that Terumo?
No, I don't actually know that.
That's Penguin Terumo.
Oh damn. Well, anyway, someone want to get us out of here? Someone do an outro.
Tune in next week as Yuri joins the rodeo.